The government of Russia has not returned the feedback after applying for scholarship. Was it that the scholarship request was bombed or was sniped at before it reached its destination? I don't know what is happening. I ought to have received the feedback. I've just woken up from sleep. At least today there is electricity. The good thing is that these people have a good plan in which they are conducting their businesses, their business of changing poles. They do this one day, so electricity is off for almost 12 hours. Okay, for less than even 10 hours, and then that is for one day. It means the whole daylight there's no electricity. The other day there's electricity throughout the whole day and the night. The other day is when they come back. So they're alternating in that way. Thank God there's someone who is thinking. Thank God there's someone who has a brain behind this. Because if it could be another person thinking that they can change the poles once, that could have been a disaster. Because we only have night time to work. And yesterday, electricity returned at very late. It was about 9. About 9. It's when they are finishing the in the night. It's when they are finishing doing their business. But it's fine. It's fine. So I'll learn to work in the night. Give my all my time at night, and when there is electricity, I do my maximum. Anything that I can do so that I can achieve productivity and move my Maxipy and Maxis. Yeah, that's what I'll be doing. I feel so fresh today. I feel so energized because after you bathe and you wake the following morning, you feel good. You feel awesome. You feel it's something that has changed, and you feel that uh, by the way, I have not uploaded anyway. You feel that you have new energy. So that is what I am in right now. I bathed yesterday and I'm proud of that. And I'm proud of that, by the way. And think of this way. I don't know. I don't know what I'm even saying. Something that is forming in my mind that there are those crazy thoughts that you think and you cannot explain. Anyway, I've not uploaded the last diary, yesterday's diary, because unfortunately there are bundles that I had, the internet that I had bought, expecting that electricity will return at 7, got expired. It was about 1 GB, which could have enabled me to push this video. The video ranges for about 300 to 400 MBs daily diaries, and the original ones are almost 6 GB, 6 to 9 GB. If it's a long video, it's about 9 GB. So I compress it to be 300, 200 to 400 MBs. So that's that. And today I've read this. Nowadays I'm productive. Ever since the day I left Nini, I showed no interest in Nini. Mr. Switzer has not been Nini visiting me ever since I told my ex, yo bro, I have no interest in you. Mr. Switzer stopped Nini visiting having those casual visits, and I'm now happy because I know how my spiritual world works right now. And it's fine. It's fine. Today I was reading this Bible verse. So the Bible verse was reading. What was it? Yeah, Matthew 7:7. Knock and the door will be opened for you. Ask and it will be given to you. Have you ever seen a father whose son asked for a bread and they give him stone? Was it stone? I think so. And if they ask for a fish, you give them snake. How how Jesus was trying to explain this in very few words. How the word is not ruthless. How ruthless will you be? How what? Okay, not weird. Looking for another name. How? Oh goodness, the word has just eluded me. Has eluded my mind. How evil? Evil is actually a worse word. I'm looking for a better word. Anyway, let me use the word evil. How evil could you be that you are doing this to your own blood? Even if the child is so bad, like she's here, they are spoiled. How can you do that as a father? And from that I learned that God is actually a very caring and a listening God. God remains to be God anyway. You see how we have a very hearing and a very patient, loving God, and it got me wondering, wow, there are sinners in this world that even ask God for something and He gives them. In a human eye, you can perceive them as these people are very evil. These people are very don't even deserve to be on earth. They don't deserve to be in the world, even breathing. So they have to be dead somewhere. Yet when they ask something from God, God gives them. It is because God has a big. Do we say God has a big heart? I don't know. But can we say that? I cannot explain that, but you come to learn that everyone's relationship with God is somehow different, and God works things for them that they cannot work for you, who is regarded as normal, who is perceived as normal, who is perceived as this normal person that does casual things and nothing catches the public eye. Yet God can do miraculous things for those who are considered evil. We all have a different path. We all have a different path, destiny. You could even come to realize that they even have a bigger purpose than us, not than us, than that person who is considered normal. So God works in mysterious ways. Yeah, God works in things that we never expected. And also looking at Jesus and how he used to think, how he used to perceive things, how he used to, you see, the thought process of him even concluding anything, coming up with anything, even judging. Okay, he used to judge, but also, there's that judging, but you just pick how you could have done it or what is expected of you. You realize that this guy was actually someone who was a giver. Jesus was a giver. The thought process, how he used to deliver his, articulate his points, how he used to explain his mind. I think he had to learn from someone. Anyway, yeah, by the way, being a giver, you need to have an example in your life. Someone who is leading you, someone who is guiding you on what to do. Alright? That is what I've come to learn. Now, there's one thing that I've come to learn about life. Life is actually very simple. It's only that we tend to overcomplicate it. Now, look at Jesus and how he. Okay, Jesus didn't have a home, right? And he had 12 people behind him following him each and every day. Each and every day. Huh? Each and every day he had 12 people, 12 mouths to feed, 12 people to be responsible for when what? When to look for a shelter, to look for a roof to cover them for the night. Israel, was it raining there? Okay, by the way, never have you heard anywhere in the land of Israel raining, and it is mentioned in the Bible. Okay, I've never heard, by the way. There's nowhere that the Bible mentions there's rain. There's rain in this place, and it is raining. Anyway, continue with my point. So Jesus was given that task. Of course, he was the leader. He was the gang leader, so he had to ensure that they have all the food, they have all the need, everything. Now, consider you. I put myself in Jesus' shoes. So I'm responsible for this 12 mouths to feed, 12 people to clothe. I don't know. Hey, 12 people to because you are the one who called them, so you must be responsible for their needs. All right. And I'm like, by the way, by the way, imagine I could be Jesus and I decide to create a following of 12 people, and they should follow me. You know, I'm the Messiah. I have the message. I have to preach the gospel, and now you have to take care of these 12 people, and not yourself. Now you are 13. You're like, "Eish, how will this even be possible?" But the thinking process, the making of this process, the making of this thinking man behind Jesus, the training that he had undergone, I think he must have had a very different and you know, very different but simple process of thinking. How will I get this thing? Okay, I know I have faith, but this now there's physical aspect. You must get something out of you must get something you must get something moving in the physical world. So I think Jesus had a way. It's either he had a way, a very ingenious way, or he was very compatible with people, which makes me think that Jesus was life path 6. Life path 6 or life path 4? Likely he had to be the two, so that he could be compatible and he could be compassionate with people. All right, are you getting really my point? Like that is what happened. I might be prompted to think that way, because his destiny was to serve humanity, which means that he had to have a path. He had to he had to have a carved path towards serving humanity. And that path included even his numerology. Yeah, it had to adapt to that. Now, let me come back to the main story. So, okay, he's the one responsible. And whether he didn't have a house, he didn't have a specific place, but I think that is what moved him. He could have had a very good relationship with other people so that they can sleep. And of course, there's something that the Bible doesn't tell us. He had to be selective as much as he was the king, and there's this place that he commanded them that go to a house, to any house, and see if they'll accommodate you. If they don't accommodate you, you what do you call moving your shoes, crashing the ground, moving your head, I don't know, what do you call it, stamping, yeah, stamping your full feet on their doorsteps. You're like, okay, how did that even happen? How did that even okay? So Jesus had the responsibility to go to some house, a specific house, because of course you cannot go to everyone's house. Not everyone will be good to you. Okay, by there, looking at what he said, if they don't accept you to be in their house, stamp your feet on their doorsteps, and I don't know, is it to curse them? Say some cursive words. Before he said that, I think he had the experience. He had experience people not allowing you to stay in their house. I don't know, for whatever reason. There are people who are just like that. You are very actually. When you accommodate a stranger in your house, you're very. You feel kind of. You have to think twice because you don't know them. You don't know these people. So it means that when he says this, it means he had another experience before that. So this means, as much as he was covering, he was looking for shelter for these people, the 12 people, the 12 heads. Um, there's really a process that was behind it, because he had to be selective on whichever house he was living in. Of course, the Bible doesn't mention. Now, there's this village that I was talking about the other day. Before Jesus went to raise Lazarus. So, Jesus decided to go to this village that I think he must have known someone, because I think, Jesus' story is being covered from, I think, age 30. Was it age 30? Whatever the New Testament covers is what is in that gap, 30 to 33 years. Now, 33 years is when he died. And I'm like, okay, there's that 3 years gap, or there's that 3 years that is documented. Now, in the New Testament, there's Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. Those are the books that his history has been covered. Now, think about it this way. This the one, okay, the moment he knew himself and his capability, and to age 29, let me talk of age 29, because I think that makes sense. Age 30, he was performing miracles. What was he doing at that point? Age what age would you consider that you are starting to know things? Maybe age 3. you're starting to know. There is no documentation behind it, except that when they went to the temple and he never got back. I think he was age 12. Ain't sure about that, but it's something like that. So there's that. So it means that this age Nini, okay, he was a carpenter. You can tell from even his father. He learned something from his father. So it means that okay, they reached a point. It reached an age he had to left his home. Hmm? At the age that maybe I am in right now, 21. Looking at it, I'm like, okay, he must have left his home so that he can be social with other people in other villages, in other places, and so that he can form connections and he should, so that he can undergo the process of, the making of this 33 years of Jesus that was documented. It was prepared for. So there's a certain age, many years, probably even more than 20 years, that he was being prepared for that 3 years. So it means that he had things moving in his life. And he had to interact with people. He had to go to different places. He had to go to uh, what else? He had to know different people, do certain things, so that he can try out what he's capable. He had to measure out what he was capable. He was really capable of. So this means, yeah. So yeah, he had to undergo that process, so that when he had the responsibility, the sole responsibility of uh, feeding this 12 nini, and now 13, including himself. He had to know people. He had to interact with people. And there's always an answer to everything. I think Jesus had to be trained in those 29 years that he was in earth, where nothing was documented except for that day, and he decided to stay behind the temple. And his father and mother looked for him everywhere. Anyway, fine. I think I make a conclusion. I try to imagine the life of Jesus in today's world, like how we interact with people. Something quite different. So today I'm planning to do KPLC, or the KPLC content, codes that you must enter in a Nini. And the funny coincidence is that I wanted to do the series video, when KPLC is now enrolling something. They want to update the KPLC meters. They want to update the KPLC meters. So I want to do the codes and how to update Nini, to show people how to update the Nini. After that, I show people if KPLC, if KPLC doesn't send you an SMS for the meter tokens after sending them the after sending them the money, they are supposed to send you the tokens. How you are supposed to use the application? You are supposed to send in the application. Yeah. Oh, how you are supposed to use the application? The KPLC application, Kenya Power app, phone app, so that you can recover the tokens. So that is what I'll be doing today, and after that, that will be back to back on TikTok. I'll be doing shorts today. Of course, on YouTube I'll make it one video. It's upon me to figure out what I'll do next. And now I have to do one other video. Hey, this will take so much time, but I'm proud of it. I'm proud that I'm doing something that I love to do. So it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Kai, I'm so much hungry. Kai, and the way I don't have money. Guy, I really do not know. But I'm really not. Anyway, it's fine. There's something that is of concern today. Ah, yeah. I want to talk about something that is happening in this world today, in the world of Kenya. There's something that is going on. The bill. Aki, was it the bill was passed yesterday? Was read yesterday? The budget. It is usually read at June or July. I'm not sure about it. But I didn't. I have not bothered to see what was happening yesterday. So the bill is supposed to, the budget is supposed to be read in the parliament today. And now there's a financial bill that is planned, and it will undergo the process of the parliament legislation. So this means that MPs have to agree to the motion that this financial bill has to pass. So and so there are people who are actually very uncomfortable with the bill. They're like, gosh, you know how much tax that will be on our backs as Kenyans? And it's because someone in the West is forcing this person to this Kenya to pay taxes to them. IMF, what else? IMF, World Bank. IMF, World Bank, so that we can pay their debts. We are like, guy, but we could have done a good thing if we could not have taken the money from World Bank. We better take it from China, because China, they can bring in their population, or part of their population, to live in Kenya and work in Kenya, at least for now, because Chinese is actually easier to deal with them. They can import things for free. Other than the West doesn't know how to you know undercharge, or they don't know the value of negotiating. You can negotiate, but the interest still will be high compared to China. The good thing about China is that there is a war between China, a cold war. They fear themselves. They fear the West and the East. They fear each other somehow. So China would, and there's someone who is in the superpower, that is the West. So China doing something, and that would sabotage or even jeopardize the Kenyan independence. Like, Kenya is an independent country, right? Now something that will sabotage that, and it concerns the Chinese, and the Americans are watching. They will be really aware. Chinese will really be aware. They see that someone is watching. It must be real careful. So it's easier to get the loan from them, because they fear the West. Are you getting my point? Let's talk of Anyway, that's the point. I don't want to give another example. I don't want to overthink, but that's the point. It's actually easier to get a loan, and even repaying will be actually easier from China than the IMF, these whites who consider themselves superior. So they are forcing Kenyans to be paying taxes, and I've realized, hmm? If you don't have a solid plan to repay your loan, please don't take that loan. And Kenya, imagine Kenya could have. Kenya has a great agricultural lands, has great mines, has enough rain to be making productive agricultural goods, and we export it for almost 2 years, and it repays the loan that we have as Kenyans, as Kenya, trillions of money. But we only need an outsider intervention like Israel. We tell them, um, we want to give you about, I don't know how many acres, whichever acres, hectares. Venice, it means 100 hectares, 100 or 1,000 hectares, somewhere productive. We tell them, we are going to give you this land, all right, as investors, and we only need 2 investors or 3 investors from Israel who know the core of or how agriculture works. We are giving you this for free. What you will do, plant anything, plant everything for export. All right. Look at the study. We know better. That is why you have called you in this place. You invest in this place. If you want workers, you can get the Kenyans. Kenyans are free. They want the jobs. But they come to think of it. The problems that we have as Kenyans. We only need we need outsiders to fix them, because an inside job, okay, like literally an inside job, cannot work because we don't trust ourselves. So we need an outsider, like an Israeli, um, yeah, a white. Because the Bible is very clear. We shall always remain servants, servants to those Ham, Shem, and Japheth. I don't know who the Africans were between the two, where the Africans came from the three, but it shall remain that way. So we conform to that. I think we should think behind it. So we call the investors. I think they should be few, at least 5. Give them the land. Tell them, this is what we want. Make the land productive, and in 2 years, or in a plan of 3 years, we expect you to give profits that will repay our loan. Our loan as that we owe the World Bank, any China, IMF, World Bank, China, and any other that we have borrowed, so that we don't have a tax in our Kenyans. If you could have just that one president that thinks out of the box, someone like Moi Kibaki, I could have reigned in this at this time. I think Kenya would have been a better country, and the other president could have ruled in the other time. But anyway, I believe that everything happens for a reason. So they tell the Israelis, we give you this nini, make sure that we have something, we have some profit that will pay nini, and we wait, because the Israelis knows how to work. They know the technical know-how. They have the blessed ability to do things, great things. And imagine how our world could, no, Kenya could have a very food rich economy. That's like right now we could not be talking about unga having costing more than 150 shillings right now. It could be something because the surplus of the food is enough. The food surplus is okay. So imagine if we could only think that way. The problems that could go away. The loans that could go away. But someone is thinking of even taking more loans so that he can spend on other things. That if I could be a president for just 1 year, there could be. Imagine I cannot focus on anything else. I could focus on agriculture, giving agriculture its maximum attention. It could solve everything in this Kenya that we are living in. Everything, like literally everything. I start even exporting things. But I hope my children will be. I'll train them to think how to solve problems and the facts. They are facts. We remain servants to the whites. As much as we'll try to be on our own, but the Bible is very clear. The Bible doesn't lie. It gives facts. It gives the truth. So we must collaborate with the whites. Someone who's outside Africa, be it the Chinese. But as long as you are not getting into debt with them, right? You invest in a smart manner. So yeah, I really wanted to talk about that. I think it's something that I've just thought about it right now. If you can only think or think wisely and invest wisely, like wise, not wisely. That yeah, I have to end this diary here. Remember, if it can be shaken, it can be moved. Until tomorrow, adios.